So some of those questions now, we'll put them to sitting GOP senator who also happens to be a medical doctor, Senate Republican Conference Chairman John Barrasso of Wyoming. Good to have you with us.
Thanks so much for having me.
So what do you make of these critiques that we're not prepared? We don't have the testing kits. We don't have the equipment, that, there have been allegations that this administration has cut back on important places like CDC, like NIH, or wanted to. How do you respond?
Well, we're the most prepared nation in the world. Johns Hopkins University says that. A number of years ago, we put in place an infectious disease rapid response team to do that. So there is deployment of those resources, and that's why we are so prepared. Now, this thing can turn on us quickly, so we have to be ever vigilant. We've had a number of briefings from all of the officials that you saw up there with the president and vice president today. As recently as yesterday, went through all of this, a secure briefing for the Senate. Most of the members of the Senate were there, spent over an hour on the ways to treat, the ways to identify, the ways to test, what vaccination may be available, what we're doing now with quarantine. And there is bipartisan agreement. This has to be adequately funded. Every meeting we've had, we've said, do you have what you need? And up until this point, they said, yes, from a financial standpoint, they do, but now we need to do more.
Okay, so I want to reference a little bit of what I discussed with Congressman Garamendi there about House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. After the president's press conference today, which went on and on, he answered a lot of questions. I think he really enjoys those. He wasn't ready to go. But he spent a lot of time directly taking these questions and answering them. This is what she said, though. The Trump administration has mounted an opaque and chaotic response to this outbreak. The Trump administration has left critical positions in charge of managing pandemics at the National Security Council and the Department of Homeland Security vacant. I mean, that's a criticism this administration gets a lot, that there are key positions all over the place that aren't filled. Does she have a point?
Well, I think she doesn't. I think she and Chuck Schumer have been playing politics. I heard Chuck Schumer's comments on the floor of the Senate. I think it's wrong. As a doctor and as a senator, I think we ought to be focused right now on public health. I think that both Chuck and Nancy wake up every day saying, what can we blame on President Trump today? And it's really too bad to see that happening. But I haven't seen Chuck Schumer at any of the briefings that we've had, none of them. And I think he's just very distressed that Bernie Sanders continues to be the lead voice of their party at a time when Chuck Schumer is trying to become the majority leader of the Senate, and it's not going the way he'd like.
Well, I mean, we have comments from Senator Sanders tonight, from the Bloomberg campaign as well. This is what Bloomberg says. He says, of the president, he slashed funding on the CDC, eliminated the entire White House chain of command tasked with coordinating the government's response to pandemics, and waged a war on science from the moment he took the oath of office. So, of course, the 2020 contenders are coming hard after the president.
Well, they did yesterday. They didn't get to coronavirus till about 80 minutes into the debate, but then they all piled on. And this is the wrong fight to pick, I believe. We ought to be focused on the health of the nation. This virus, it started in China. We talked about the fact that the young doctor died at a young age. He was the one that was reprimanded by China by trying to spread the word about the disease. And this could go worldwide. We have more and more countries involved right now. We are prepared, more prepared than anyone else. We have to be ever vigilant. The American Hospital Association today, along with the center that oversees Ebola training, which we have funded fully, they had a webinar. I've been participating in that, have looked through the whole thing. They want to make sure that all of the hospitals in the country are fully prepared. We are at that point the most prepared in the world.
Okay, wash hands, try not to sneeze on each other, cover your mouth, the basics.
And if you're sick, stay home.
All right, good advice. Senator, thanks for popping in.
Thanks for having me.
Okay.